Hey, this is David Fay with PlanWell Financial Planning. We are financial advisors that specializes in working with federal employees to help you plan for retirement. And today I want to talk to you about the top 5 mistakes that we see people make with the TSP. Okay? And the first mistake is that people think the TSP may be risk-free, right? You can't lose money. Well, that may be true for one of the funds, right? The G fund. It's certainly not true with the other funds. So in the TSP, we have 3 stock funds, C, S, and I, and because they are stocks, we're subject to the market risk, right? And then the bond fund, the TSP, is called the F fund. F stands for fixed income, and just like all bonds, it could lose money because of interest rate. So it has something called interest rate risk, okay? And lastly, the G fund, although it can't lose money, right, it could actually have a different effect. And that leads to the second mistake that I see people make with the TSP, which is a over-reliance on the G fund. Okay, so like I said earlier, with the G fund, you can't lose money. Okay, so the value can't go down, but it is subject to something called inflation risk. Okay, average return of the G fund typically is at or below inflation. So although we don't lose money in the account that we can see, we do lose purchase power over time. Okay, so by putting too much money into the G fund may not be a good thing. The third mistake I see are what I call administrative and withdrawal limitations. Okay. In the TSP, not counting the automatic withdrawal, right, that you can set up. If you make a one-time distribution from the TSP, you have to wait 30 days before you can take another one, right? So in case of emergencies, if you took money out, you have to wait. That may not be convenient. Second, there are administrative charges inside the TSP as far as the management fee goes. Some could be higher and others outside could be lower. Okay, so you need to understand what's available in the TSP before you make that fair comparison. The fourth mistake is what I call poor diversification. Now, some of this is because we may not know exactly what to do into TSP. So because there's a lack of advice or knowledge, some of us may not be using the funds correctly. So for first and foremost, I see a lot of employees tend to use different L funds altogether. That was not the intention of how the L funds were designed. You were supposed to put everything into one L fund and just pick the year that works best for you. Second, the TSP does not have specific investments to China, and China is the biggest emerging market in the world. So we are missing some exposures there, but it has to do with kind of the administration's changes to the TSP, nothing to do with knowledge. Okay. All right, and then another mistake related to kind of diversification is that the TSP uses what we call index funds. And because of that, there aren't ways for us to focus on specific parts in the market. For example, if we want to invest a little bit less in technology, right, and focus a bit more in financials or consumer staples and things like that, this unfortunately isn't an easy way for us to do that in the TSP. And that leads me to mistake number 5, which what I call, in general, lack of planning in the TSP. So there's a lot of things goes on when we retire, right? There's required minimum distributions. We have to start taking money out of the traditional TSP. There are tax implications because we're taking money out. And of course, there are survivor issues, which leads to inheritance, right? The TSP was not designed to be an inheritance vehicle. And because of that, and because people don't understand that correctly, your heirs could be looking at lump sum distributions, right? Could be a lot of taxes all at once. And lastly, before we get to inheritance, stuff like that, right? People don't know how to take money out of TSP to ensure that they're taking out the right amount, using the right strategy, and not to run out. Okay. So to help you with that, please check out our website, subscribe to our newsletter, but most importantly, come to our 1-hour TSP workshop, which I go through all the 5 mistakes and talk about what are some of the nuances you need to consider to help you ensure you retire successfully. Again, this is David Fay with PlanWell Financial Planning. I look forward to seeing you in our webinar. Take care.